Yo, hello. Mic check 1 2. Is this working? Is this on? You guys ready? All right, let's do this. Hey guys, what's going on? Good afternoon. This is hashtag TNT Joe-Fi. Tech news that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega. This is episode something because I lost count, and this is day something in quarantine because I also lost count. Otherwise, how's everybody doing? And also for people all around the world, if it is not afternoon where you're at, I apologize. Good morning or good evening to you. Okay, so I have my sinuses are acting up today, so I might not be on the tip top of my game today, but I am gonna tread through and make it. It's just like my left ear keeps popping and it's very annoying, and I just hope that it goes away very soon because it's hard for me to do what I need to do when it's yeah. Okay, so we have some news today, not a ton, but we'll go through it. And I've had a busy day today, so I haven't even gotten a chance to really go through many of the stories. And StreamYard changed on me. So my streaming software has a couple new changes, and it's when I first started, I was like, okay, where did everything go? It's a little jarring, but hopefully I'm able to figure it out. I think I will be fine. So Levin Williams, Jerome, what's good, bro? Not much, man. Hope you're doing well. And also being very nice to other people in here. Hello, everyone. Made it to the stream. Glad you can make it, Levin. Always nice to see you. Team Varai is in here as well, on the way to pick up my wife from work, but we'll be listening in. Hi, everyone. Team Varai, thank you for taking the time to listen in, even though you're in your car or however you're picking up your wife. I just imagine the phone sitting on the car seat with me blaring through your speakers or your Bluetooth. But Team Varai, glad you could make it. Nice to see you, man. Always nice to have you in the stream. So yeah, despite my sinuses right now, I am very just blah, but I want to do this stream because I think it's uh Paul Hendricks, left ear Jerome as opposed to left eye Lopez. Yeah, this ear is uh it's no good. I was recording. Oh, there you go. It just popped out again. Now it's all messed up. Anyway, oh, Team Rice is just actually just walking. Well, enjoy, man. Enjoy the walk. It's actually a really nice day here in Chicago. Yeah, so I hate I hate streaming when I'm having sinus issues, but whatever. So let's get started. I will figure it out. Yesterday I read an article about the Snapdragon 775G, or at least the possibility for a Snapdragon 775G, which is, they said, would be 40% faster CPU wise, 50% faster GPU wise than the Snapdragon 765G, which is, and I've said this many times, on the LG Velvet. It is reportedly coming for the OnePlus Z, the Pixel 5, amongst other phones. But we didn't hear anything about the 775G, right? Yesterday. I could be wrong. Maybe we did. And I just, sorry, I'm like making sure my phones are not playing, or they're on silent. Anyway, yeah. So Snapdragon, sorry, I'm like sitting up. Snapdragon 775G was the rumor, but instead we got a Snapdragon 690. Now I know I made a thumbnail where I put a snoring face next to the Snapdragon 690, but I actually don't know much about it. I just figured it's a 600 series, so it's probably going to be off my radar. But I figured we might as well talk about it since that's the news. I don't know if they are going to still make a Snapdragon 775 G that will be the successor to the Snapdragon 765G. I think I read an article that said it might be possible, or it's going to be coming out later, but I don't know how concrete that is. It also makes me wonder, where did somebody get the info that the 775G was going to be 40% faster performance wise? So now I'm just wondering how true any of those specs are. But let's talk about Qualcomm's Snapdragon 690. I don't know if anybody's actually excited about this chipset. I mean, are you shopping for a $350 phone, $300 phone? Well, $350 for the OnePlus Z, but are you looking for a lower end budget phone? Because I'm assuming that's what's going to be put in the Snapdragon 690, right? This is going to be marketed towards the lower end of spending market tier. I'm trying to say it in a non-condescending way because I don't mean to be condescending about it. It's just usually these are cheaper phones, phones that have the Snapdragon 600 series chipset. But this article from Fandroid says, when you think of 5G smartphones, you might think of flagships. I think of phones that don't need it right now. That's what I think of when I think of 5G. This is because flagships use Qualcomm Snap 865, which supports 5G, but that also means that those who can't afford or don't want to pay flagship prices won't be able to get in on the 5G action, but that will change soon. Qualcomm has recently announced their latest chipset in the form of the Snap 690. With this new chipset, handset makers will now have access to a newer and more affordable 5G capable chipset, which in turn will help them make 5G smartphones more readily available to the masses. So what kind of specs are we looking at? The Snap 690 will feature 8 cores, which comprises of the big little architecture of 2 Cryo 560 cores clocked to 2 gig, while the other 6 cores are of the ARM Cortex A55. The new chipset will also be able to support up to 8 gigs of RAM and will feature the Adreno 619L GPU and the Hexagon Tensor Accelerator AI engine. So what chipset is the Snap 690 going to be the successor for? The 675? Is that what it is? Because that's what my That's what my TCL 10 Pro has, right? A Snapdragon 675, which isn't bad. So maybe the 690 will be okay. And then it'll have 5G for anyone who wants 5G. The Snap 690 is not Qualcomm's first attempt at making affordable 5G chipsets. The company also has the Snap 765G, which also supports 5G. Yeah, but we imagine that the lower tier Snap 690 will be more affordable and slower. I mean, let's be real. At this point in time, we're not sure which phones will be taking advantage of it. But if you're after an affordable 5G smartphone, they should be arriving in the not so distant future. Again, I don't know who's really waiting for this chipset or who got really excited when they announced it. I don't really think many people. If anybody, it's just companies who will be able to now market 5G and price it cheaper and still make a profit and tell people that everyone needs 5G right now, because if you're not using 5G, then what are you doing with your life? But we all know that's not true, because I don't have any 5G phones and none of them are very important to me at this point, because one, I'm inside my house like 75, 85, 95% of the time, other than like me going out for a walk or going to the store once every 2 weeks, not every 2 weeks, uh, once a week or 2 times a week at the most. But yeah, 5G is not a concern for me, even though these corporations, these telecoms, these phone manufacturers want to tell you otherwise. They want to tell you that 5G is the most important thing right now. So they're going to put it on every single phone. And I just think that they could focus on something more important than 5G at the moment. Big House Productions is in here. Hey, Jerome and Stream. Hey, Big House Productions. How's it going, man? You missed it. I have sinus issues right now, and it's very annoying, and I'm trying to tread through. I'm just venting to people at this point. Big House Productions, thanks for making the stream. Nice to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Team Verizon says, even though they're mid-range SoCs, I still have good experiences with this SD600 series, such as the Nokia 6.1 and Pixel 3a. This will be interesting to see. So it's good. I think I don't have another article. Oh, actually, I have the actual specs from it. That's what I was going to say, because I thought I saw another article that talked about how it was going to be like a 20% upgrade in performance. Maybe this is where it was from, straight from Qualcomm. So this article, this news report, whatever, from Qualcomm says, helping to make 5G accessible to more people than ever before. They say it like it's critical. Now everybody can get 5G. This is all anybody's been waiting for. And it's not. It's smarter, faster, and more impressive than its predecessor, packing remarkable on-device AI and vibrant entertainment experiences backed by efficient performance. So let's see here. Combines speed and strength with power efficiency. Vivid 4K HDR video recording. So that's new. Up to 192 megapixel photo capture, because guys, let's not forget, the more megapixels, the better. I'm kidding, guys. So both produce professional quality photos and videos, because we all know that when you buy a 600, or when you buy a phone with a 600, well, I don't know. Actually, Team Verizon has a point there, the Pixel 3a. But other phones, I don't know if they have, professional quality photos and videos. But yeah. And now with 5G connectivity, 4K HDR streaming delivers vibrant, immersive entertainment. When you guys are out and about, are you guys trying to like purposely watch 4K streaming? Because I don't. Usually I just watch a YouTube video and I don't even mess with the settings on it. But marketing. So let's see. You got 5G. So remarkable on-device AI. I don't know actually what changes here, except what is this? This Tensor accelerator. Both first to the 6 series, power intuitive experience at impressive speeds and exceptional efficiency. How that AI works, I don't know. Professional quality videos. So it can now support high megapixel capture, plus fast autofocus and noise reduction technology for sharper, brighter 4K HDR videos in over 1 billion shades of color. I mean, that's good, right? You're going to introduce or improve camera I mean, I can't, I'm not going to hate on that. Smooth graphics and imagery. So up to 60% improvement from the predecessor. That's good too. Enables seamless graphics rendering, while the improved FHD Plus display at 120 hertz supports smooth, lifelike imagery, and then pumped up performance. So it says here, well, it says pumped up performance, but it doesn't really say how much better. And then here are all the specs. I'm not going to go through all of this because I would rather just see, okay, so it's an upgrade from the 675 platform, which is nice because my TCL 10 Pro has a Snap 675 and it's not bad at all. I've had it hiccup here and there, but it's nothing awful. I mean, it's very usable. So for people who might not be very heavy-handed on their phones and they're not using it for crazy stuff, the 690 might be a good improvement. Plus, you get 5G because everyone's using 5G today, right, guys? If I just say 5G enough, will that be enough to get you to buy it? Marketable 5G, 5G, 5G. Yeah, Big House says, I'll wait until next year for 5G. I hear ya. Brian, hey, Brian, what's going on? I said it very I'm having sinus issues, Brian. I'm not in the best like of spirits because I can't hear out of this ear and it's like driving me insane. Snapdragon edition of TNT Joe Fly. What's going on, Brian? Welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Paul says, on the other hand, it means more phones got 5G and 5G can be used more. 5G, 5G, 5G. Thanks for the input, Paul. Must be Lenovo needing a million variants of the same processor. Yeah, there you go. Or Xiaomi. Yep. So, all right, guys, let's move on. I don't have a ton of stories today. I really hope I can fill that hour, and I will fill that hour regardless. I just unless for some reason I collapse because my ears like driving me nuts, but I'll be fine. Okay, so this article from 9 to 5 Google. ASUS ROG Phone 3 specs leak with a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, 16 gigs of RAM, and it drops the headphone jack. Are there many phones that have 6,000 milliamp hour batteries? Because that's gigantic. That is a gigantic battery. If anyone who wants a phone that needs superior battery life, I would imagine that this would be, well, I guess it depends because maybe the battery is so big in there because of like all the specs they're packing into it for a gaming phone. Plus 16 gigs of RAM. So it already sounds power packed. I haven't had a chance to read what else is on it, but I'm assuming with specs like that, this is going to be a powerhouse in terms, or at least on paper. So ASUS has been making one of the best gaming smartphones for the past couple of years. And it's looking like the third generation is right around the corner. Now, thanks to a leaked listing for the phone, we know what specs the ASUS ROG Phone 3 will pack under the hood. Is it ASUS or is it ASUS? I think I've heard it go both ways. Or I don't know what the proper way of pronouncing it is. I think I've always said it ASUS, but I've also heard someone say ASUS or ASUS. Is it ASUS or ASUS? Or is it ASUS? I don't know. As spotted by the folks over at XDA, a listing on TENAA reveals almost a complete list of specs for the ROG Phone 3. So it's going to go all out as per usual. Overclocked 3.09 gigahertz Snap 865, Adreno 650 GPU, up to 16 gigs of RAM, up to 512 gigs of internal storage, and a 6.59-inch FHD Plus AMOLED display. So it's kind of going all out except for the display. There's also an under-display fingerprint sensor mentioned with Android 10 and ASUS's. I'll give you all of the pronunciations under the hood. Own UI available on the device, as well as a huge 6,000 milliamp hour battery to power all of this. That battery too charges at 30 watts. Perhaps the biggest reveal on this specs list for the ROG Phone 3 is the lack of a headphone jack. Actually, that's kind of interesting. You would think for a gaming phone, a headphone jack would be the ideal way. I have a well, you guys see me put this on. I have this Sennheiser one. Is that? There you go. And I've had this for like 4 years and I love it. But it's wired and I use it for all my video editing and I use it while I'm gaming. And I would imagine that if you want to give someone a gaming phone, you would put a headphone jack. So that is a little confusing. In both available pictures and a brief description, it certainly looks like this phone will ditch the audio port completely. There are still a few things left to learn about the ROG Phone 3, but this has provided a lot of insight on ASUS's next device. We also know, too, that the ROG Phone 3 will come preloaded with Google Stadia. So for anyone who wants Google Stadia, it'll come preloaded. Happy birthday. And then Brian with the $1 super chat. Brian, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Appreciate the support. Always appreciative. Always got to thank you. Thank you for also being a wonderful moderator and keeping the peace in the chat room, although usually my chat room is pretty peaceful. But Brian, thank you for the support. Thank you for taking that, going that extra mile to support me, man. Always appreciated. So let me go back into higher up in the chat here. Paul says, why an hour? I'm fine with less. I don't know. I feel like at this point I want to be consistent. So I always want to stream at 2. I always want to have at least an hour of stream time. I don't know. It's also good for me. I also like engaging with chat. It's also just a nice way to kind of chill and talk to everybody and see how everyone's doing and building a community. So yeah, that's my answer. So yeah, see, Team Verizon says a gaming phone with no 3.5 millimeter. Yeah, exactly. It's I don't know. ASUS, I guess. That's what I've been calling it for a long time. It's weird when I hear other people pronounce it otherwise. Brian says, hold the stream down, everyone. I'm driving and can't really type. A lot of you guys are kind of on the move right now. Brian is on the road. Team Verizon is walking around. I'm like sitting here picturing Team Verizon just walking around. Let's see here. Okay. So keeping up with oops, I didn't mean to post that again. Keeping up with gaming stuff, we are going to move over to the Red Magic 5G Eclipse Black. That's a lot of words there. I think I did a video, didn't I? The Red Magic 5G, and it was like the transparent edition. So what is this one? I haven't read this yet, so I'm not, I don't know what this is about, but the Red Magic 5G Eclipse Black to be released globally with 12 gigs of RAM. Oh, globally. So, okay. So ZTE's sub-brand Nubia has been making overpowered Android phones at very low prices for a number of years. Recently, they have made a foray into the mobile gaming platform market with the Red Magic line, whose most recent addition is the Red Magic 5G. I don't know why, but even though I know I probably would never buy this Red Magic, I like the color scheme. I don't know, maybe it's just, it kind of like speaks to me, and I would get this one with like the teal or turquoise or whatever color that is, just because I don't know, I kind of want something different. I get a little tired of just black on my phones all the time, and I feel like I just want to switch it up, and I would rock that. Okay, so Nubia announced the Red Magic 5G on March 20th and said that a global launch would be coming soon. Oh, okay, so I guess that is what I read earlier. So it'll be coming to the States. Any of you guys in the market for a Red Magic? I'm guessing not. I don't know if anyone here in the stream is looking for this phone. Anyway, now this has been confirmed with a global launch today, June 16th, and North American availability starting June 22nd. That's cool. It's nice to see that it's going to be coming to the States. So a Snap 865, 5G, a 6.65-inch screen with 144 hertz refresh rate. So it has active liquid cooling. It has shoulder trigger buttons, a triple camera rear array, 64 main, 8 megapixel wide, 2 megapixel micro, in-display fingerprint reader. And then it uses its own OS with Android 10, a 4,500 milliamp hour battery. And it has 55 watt USB-C charging and a 3.5 millimeter headphone jack. So you can get like this black and red, or you can get this one. That's the kind of one that I would buy. And then what is this, like red and yellow? So the global model features 12 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage, and will only be available in Eclipse Black at a price of, look at that price. That's a crazy price though. $599. That's, dude, $600 for a Snap 865 and what? is it going to be 128 gigs of internal? It doesn't say here, but not only do you get a Snap 865, but you get like this active liquid cooling. So maybe it's going to be better performing in that sense, just in terms, well, I guess in terms of gaming, maybe performance wise, you wouldn't be noticing much if you're just like, you know, scrolling back and forth through Chrome and YouTube or whatever. But it's still, if anything, it'll still be a powerful phone a couple years down the road. But for $599, if that's actually what it's going to be priced at in the States here too, that's a hell of a price. Now, I don't know how good Red Magic's OS is. I don't know how long they're going to support this phone for, but maybe there's going to be third-party support. And maybe, if we're able to throw a clean version of Android on it, like who knows? Maybe it wouldn't be a bad deal. I don't know. Okay, so I see Paul Tech in here. Hey, what's up, Jerome? What's up, Paul Tech? Nice to see you, man. Glad you could make it. Appreciate you joining the stream. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Team Rise says, my 17-year-old Game Boy Advance with a 32-bit CPU has a headphone jack for crying out loud. I know, but you know how it is. Like, we don't need headphone jacks, says these big companies. Why would we need them? Except for many reasons. And then Levin Williams with the $1 super chat. Levin, thank you. Thank you, Levin. Thank you for the support. Thank you for always supporting, by the way. You are a very consistent supporter, man. And it's always nice to see you in the streams when you can make it. And I appreciate that you support the way you do, just like everybody else. I'm always very thankful. Your guys' support helps me just do what I do, helps offset costs. And, when you guys do that kind of stuff, it still surprises me that you guys come in here and like spend time and do this stream with me daily. So Levin, again, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. Okay, so Paul says time for a Red Magic 5G Black Edition Ultra Pro Plus Plus Hyper Edition Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo Extended Plus. Yeah, I agree. It's a little too long there. Yeah. Oh, Eclipse Edition. Right. So let me see here. All right, let's move on. This article from Android Police is talking about how Android 11 beta now works with Google Pay. Actually, where's my, oh, it's right here. So I have my my Pixel 4 here, and I have, so when I got the beta for my Pixel 4, one of the first things I did was try to add Google Pay to it, and I wasn't able to. And apparently this article is saying you can do it, so I'm actually going to try it right now. I'm not going to show you my credit card stuff because you don't need to see that. But right now I'm trying to add the card, and we'll see if it'll add it, and if it doesn't, we'll read the article on why. Wait, hold on. It's saying issuer terms, accept and continue. Contacting your bank is verifying your card. Your screen lock will be used for Google Pay. Yeah, it worked. Oh, well, snaps. Okay, so I still got to like put my password in. So yeah, Google Pay works. Yeah, it didn't work initially. When I first tried to use it, it errored out on me and it said, your phone is rooted or something or blah, blah, blah. And so that's great. Now I can use Android Pay again. Google Pay, Android Pay, Google Pay. One of the two. You know how Google likes to change the names of everything. I just talked about this yesterday with the home speaker, Nest speaker, whatever you want to call it, Google Nest Hub Max Pro Edition. After many delays, the Android 11 beta finally launched last week. While the software already feels relatively stable compared to the earlier developer previews, there are still some quirks that need to be worked out, like video playback problems and mispositioned text entry boxes. One issue won't plague us adventurous beta users any longer. Contactless payments through Google Pay are finally available. Google Pay support is always spotty on pre-release software due to potentially missing safety net verifications, but Pay already worked on DP4. Google apparently broke something on its end when it started the beta. According to multiple reports from Android beta subreddit and some tweets, the problem is now fixed. And it is. I just tried it and now it's working. And Pay is functional for many people again. To see if contactless payments are available to you, head to the Google Pay app. And yeah, so if you guys have a Pixel 4 or Pixel 3 or Pixel 2 and you're using the Android 11 beta and you haven't had a chance to set up Google Pay because it errored you out like it did me, I just tried it and it works. So feel free to add that on. And if you're doing it right now, let me know if it works because I'm just curious. So, okay. Let me see here. You guys are having a conversation, which is good. I'm glad. So let's move on. Again, I don't know how I'm going to fill. Okay. I got a couple more stories. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. So the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II is confirmed to be shipping out July 24th. I talked about this phone before because I was actually a little excited for this phone because of the camera. And a lot of people are saying that not only is the camera good, but the software is good that comes along with it. And it has like, it's taken some cues from Sony's mirrorless cameras, and apparently they've added it on to the Xperia 1 Mark II. I've seen some samples that were good, but then I've seen some samples that were like, I don't know, it doesn't look the greatest, but maybe the software makes up for it. I heard like the video on it is supposed to be really good. Anyway, it's going to be shipping out July 24th, which is a little over a month from now. So the new flagship device from Sony, the Xperia 1 Mark II, has been up for pre-order for the past few weeks. We've also been hearing about all of its standout features, at least on paper. Now you just have a month or so to wait until you can have it and see for yourself if the specs are as impressive in real life. I don't know if they will be. At $1,200, this is an expensive phone. Again, I say that, but I'm trying to see if I can get my hands on the Huawei P40 Pro Plus, even though I know it's not recommended to get one. I kind of want one, but that's even more expensive at $1,600. So the Sony online store has the expected release date pegged at July 24th, confirming previous announcements. The price is also now pegged at $1,200 instead of the original price at $1,430. The Sony Xperia 1 Mark II is highlighting its camera prowess with its Sony Alpha AF technology, autofocus technology, triple camera array, Zeiss optics, Zeiss coating, plus an autofocus system. All this other like nerdy stuff in here in terms of photography. So if you're a mobile photographer and videographer, these things may be important to you, and given Sony's track record, it should interest you. And it does. It interests me in a photography standpoint, videography standpoint, but I don't know if I could chill out the $1,200 for it. I look to my right and I see Big House saying $1,200 with all the emojis. Yeah, it is woefully expensive, and I just don't know if I could shell out the money because I just don't know how good the camera is. The reason that the P40 Pro Plus, the reason that I might, or the reason I'm only considering shelling out $1,600, I probably will not because it's so expensive, is purely for the fact that the camera looks amazing on that phone. And I just wanted to test out the camera and see if it actually bests the iPhone 11 Pro and the Pixel 4. From what I've seen, it looks like the Huawei P40 Pro Plus. God, that's so long to say. It looks like it does have a better camera, but I can't say that for sure until I have one. And if I do, and I test it out, then I would be shouting that. I would be shouting that on the rooftops and letting people know that, there's a new camera king in town, which I think other people have already said that, but I can't say it with certainty until I have it for myself. But if you're hoping for 5G connectivity, it doesn't seem to support 5G networks, even if the Snap chip seems to be 5G capable. Given that 5G is being heralded as the next big thing, it will be the next big thing, but not right now. So let's see here. The fact that the S20 Ultra has that feature and costs almost the same should be cause for concern. When you buy the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II on the Sony website, you'll get the unlocked version that is compatible with AT&T, Verizon, Cricket Wireless, and Metro. Does that mean T-Mobile? Yeah, it has to be T-Mobile too. Why didn't they mention T-Mobile? They're throwing in a pair of free noise-canceling WF-1000XM3 earbuds to make you feel like that $1,200 price tag isn't that pricey. Actually, those earbuds, aren't they like $200? Or they're close to $200, right? So, I mean, I'm not saying that makes the deal, well, it makes the deal better in general, but I would rather you just knock off $200 and sell the phone to me for 1,000 instead of giving me earbuds. But I guess I could get those earbuds and sell them, right? You might not make $200, but you could probably sell them and at least get some of your money back to kind of offset the cost of this Sony phone. So I want to check out the website just to see. Oh, it just brings you straight here. Okay, so you can reserve it. I don't think there's anything. Yeah, it says here T-Mobile. I don't know why they didn't list it in there. Expected release date is July 24th, 2020. So, yeah, anybody who's looking for a $1,200 Xperia 1 Mark II, you can reserve one right now, and you can let me know how it is because I'm not buying it. Let's see here. Big House says 1,200 and no 5G support. Yeah, again, like even though I'm not the biggest fan of 5G at this point, if you're going to be spending that money, it might as well have it in there, right? Big House says I like the Motorola Edge Plus better than the Sony. That's so funny you say that because my next article is about the Motorola Edge Plus. But yeah, they're very expensive phones. The phone is $1,000 and the buds are 200. Yep. Team Verizon says real expensive though. I've seen some good reviews on it. Not that I wouldn't want to try it. I just don't see myself spending the money on this phone at this point. I really, again, I know it's weird, but I think I would rather spend the money on the P40 Pro Plus or whatever it's called, even though I know I won't get Google services on it. But okay, let's move on. Let's talk about this Motorola Edge Plus. It's also not the best news in the world here. So Motorola's first flagship in years has major display problems. This article from Android Authority apparently has found something going on with its display. Units are experiencing some major display problems. Users are seeing purple smudging and green tint on the screen of the phone. What is with these high-end flagship phones and green tint? The OnePlus 8 Pro has green tint issues, right? My Pixel 3 had green tint issues. I made a video about that actually. Well, it wasn't a green tint. My screen just went green, like a big portion of it. Some units might be too far gone and will need to be replaced by Verizon. Oh, I didn't know that. The Motorola Edge Plus marked the company's return to flagship phones in April, but just over a month after its launch, users are reporting some serious display problems on it. Many users have taken to the company's forums to complain about mysterious purple blotches and a green tint appearing on the display of the $1,000 phone. That is not what I would want to hear when I'm spending that much money on a phone. Some users say that purple spots creep into the edges of the display after using the phone for a prolonged period of time. They eventually go away, only to come right back if the phone is once again used for a long duration. For many, these strange purple spots are even multiplying and growing over time. Others are noticing a green tint on the display in addition to the purple stains. You can see images showing some of those display problems below. I mean, once I start having that, I would just return the phone. I would not mess around and just be like, maybe it'll get better. We didn't experience any such issues during our review of the Motorola Edge Plus, although we did notice that its display tends to become darker around the edges where it curves. It's also not the best display we've seen on a 2020 flagship. For its part, Motorola seems to be pushing out a fix for the purple blots and green tint appearing on the display of its flagship phone. A forum administrator responded to the complaint saying that a new software update should fix the display problems. He initially recommended that folks shouldn't rush to replace their Edge Plus handsets because new devices could also exhibit similar display issues. Instead, he said that people should update their phones with the new software and check if the problems are resolved. But when are they going to do that? How soon are they going to be releasing the new software to fix this issue? Again, you're paying $1,000 for a phone. It shouldn't have display issues. Again, if it was me, I would just return it. It wouldn't sit right with me knowing that I have a phone that might have those issues come back. I say that, but I had my Pixel 2 that had that blue tint and I kept it. In fact, I bought another one just to see if they fixed it in a newer version of the Pixel 2. And in my case, they did. But so I say that I'd return it, but here I am keeping the Google phones. The green tint on my Google phone, I kept that for a while too before I end up bitching about it and replacing it. But yeah, I'm just trying to think of like what I'm just saying if you're a consumer and you have this phone and you're having those issues, I would just I would just return it and maybe think about getting something else. I mean, did you really want a Motorola Edge Plus in the first place? Maybe you did. It doesn't sit well with me that it's an exclusive to Verizon and it's $1,000 and it's not going to have like a ton of support, but you know, we speak with our wallets, so like more power to you if that's really what you wanted. So let's see here. Later, a number of users confirmed that the update fixed the display. Oh, so the update already came out then. However, many users reported that while the display issues disappeared temporarily after the update, they reappeared with full force once again. That is not good. And acknowledging that some Edge Plus units might be too far gone, the forum admin wrote, "We've seen the software clear up the problem, but in some cases, the quote smudging could be too advanced to be resolved in this way. We appreciate everyone who has been patient and waited for the software. If the problem persists after you have updated and given it a day or two, please exchange the phone with Verizon." So at least you have that option. If you're thinking of returning your Edge Plus flagship and switching to another brand, here are the best Android phones you can buy right now. So, not the best news for this Motorola Edge Plus. I don't know anybody who's bought this phone yet. I mean, other than reviewers, but I don't really watch a ton of reviewers, so I don't know who's bought it. But yeah, I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't really have words for it because I am not that deep into Motorola's ecosystem at this point. And my recommendation is just return it if you're having issues with the display. I wouldn't mess with it. Deepak Murthy, what's up, Jerome? What's up, Deepak? How's it going, man? How you doing? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. I am slightly under the weather. I'm just having sinus issues today, but hope you're doing well, man. Just thought I'd share that because I've been bitching to everybody about it. So Big House Productions says that looks horrible. Yeah, it's not the best thing to see here. Nobody wants this here or this here or like, yeah, not the best. So right, Levin's absolutely right. For $1,000, the display should be on point out of the box. No excuses. I completely agree. Forbes Tech Reviews. What's up, everyone? What's up, Forbes Tech Reviews? How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Glad you can make it. Let's see. Deepak says, I am reading awesome news on Moto flagship. I'm guessing that's sarcastic. Where are you reading awesome news from? I don't know. So, okay, guys, let's move on here. I don't this is probably going to be a shorter stream because I'm already almost finished through it. But real quick for everyone in the stream, guys, if you haven't had a chance, if you could please like the stream. Liking the stream helps in an algorithmic kind of way, aka it helps people find my stream. I think it helps new people come in here and talk and chat, and it's always nice to see some new faces. With that being said, I do stream weekdays, Mondays through Fridays at 2 p.m. Central. So if you are not a subscriber, you should be a subscriber. So you'll get notified when I stream. Hopefully you guys get notified when I stream, right? And I'm talking with this small screen here with the Edge Plus looking a fool. So yeah, anyway, if you guys haven't subscribed, please consider being a subscriber. And lastly, if you see people in the room with green in their name and you see a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam. And you can be part of that family too. All you got to do is click on that join button. You'll get the green in your name. You'll get the red Chicago star. You get to use custom emoji. And then there are different tiers that give you other access like a private Discord and other things that I need to do, but I haven't been on top of just because everything has been crazy lately. But again, if you want, you can be part of the fam for as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click that join button. If you can't find that join button, you can go to youtube.com/PhoneJerome/join. And I'll leave it at that. That's just my little marketing thing. Thought I, should put that out there, but we'll move on. And these are not as phone related, but I wanted to go over it because I know that there's been talk about the Google Home not being available anymore to buy. And I don't mean the mini. I'm talking about the initial one that they came out with, like It looks like a air freshener. I'm trying to like give like a size like that big. Anyway, I used to have one, and then I apparently you can't find them anymore on the online store, but now someone's saying there might be a successor in the works, according to a new rumor. Is this a long-awaited Google Nest Home? I hate how they keep switching the names of these things because I don't know. So now it's not Google. Now it's not a Google Home. It's a Google Nest Home. Now it's not a Google Mini. It's a Google Nest Mini. Is that what they call it? I had a Google Hub, right? Is that what it's called? A Google Hub. I got it for free when I got that like $100 credit when I bought my Pixel 4, but I didn't keep it because I don't really use them. But that now that's called a Google Nest Hub. Did they just add Nest in the middle there? I don't know why. I don't know. I know they're trying to be like more streamlined with stuff, but I felt like Google Home and Google Mini sounded good already. But maybe they just need to get the Nest name in there so people are familiar with it. I don't know. Google might be ready to unveil a new Nest smart speaker that sits somewhere between the Google Home and Google Home Max, according to a new rumor. The speaker, which was disclosed by a source to 9 to 5 Google, goes by the codename Prince, yes, like the musician, and is poised to rival the Sonos One. Oh, I didn't know that. Isn't the Sonos One a higher end speaker? Anyway, what separates Prince from its predecessors is that that apparently has larger drivers, okay, than the Google Home and follows the same mesh fabric design at the Nest Mini as the Nest Mini, but isn't quite as powerful as the more expensive Google Home Max. The speaker will definitely be using Google Assistant, and it won't have a screen like the Google Nest Hub and Nest Hub Max. It's just so wordy. Why can't it just be the Google Hub, the Google Hub Max, the Google Hub Max Pro Plus Huawei P40 Reddit edition? I don't know what I'm saying, guys. It'll be voice only, which makes sense if it's intended to replace the original Home or Home Max. The source didn't disclose how much the speaker will cost or when we can expect to see it, but 9 to 5 Google estimates that it'll be priced somewhere between the two older smart speakers and might be available alongside the Google Pixel 4a. When is the 4A coming out, though? When exactly that will happen, however, is still up in the air. Google Nest Home or the Google Home Max 2? I don't even know what's what anymore. It's just so many extra words that it's starting to really upset me. A few years back, Google placed the vast majority of its smart devices under the Google Nest umbrella, implying that the products were all interconnected and compatible with the Nest series. Weirdly, though, neither the Google Home Max nor the Google Home got the rebranding and have retained their original names for now, because who knows what they're going to change it to. Prince could change that by replacing one or both of those speakers if it's truly the happy medium between the Home and the Home Max. Unfortunately, Google I/O has been canceled this year without any word of a replacement event, and the latest rumors say we could be waiting until October to get our hands on the next Pixel phone, so don't toss out your old Google Home speaker just yet. I don't think anyone's just going to be tossing it out. Do you guys still use the Google Home? At one point in my apartment, I had all the smart speaker stuff hooked up. I was using IFTTT to run routines. And it was nice, but after a while, I don't know. I'm just used to using my phone to push stuff to the TV. I mean, I have smart bulbs and I haven't even been using that. I should just hook it up again, but I'm not even staying on my own right now. So whenever I get my apartment, whenever this coronavirus stuff kind of like dies down and I have better income, then maybe I'll hook it up again. I kind of miss having a smart home, but it's not the end of the world. Oh, I see a super chat from Big House Productions. Big House Productions, thank you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Great info again, Jerome. Get some Hall's cough drops for those sinuses. I know, I really should, but so like, here's the thing, Big House, is I fast. So I know that probably has sugar in it and I probably can't do it, but Big House, thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Thank you for the support. Appreciate it so much. I know I feel like I'm not on top of my game because of my left ear and not being able to hear or like having that weird, whatever. I'm not going to complain about it too much. Anyway, Big House Productions, thank you for the support, man. Thank you for the continued support. You guys are always regular supporters. All of you, like, just for you guys to come in and stuff. I just thank you guys so much. Thank you. Okay, so let's go back into chat here. Yeah, Levin says not a good look moto. I agree. Team Vry says I miss Motorola circa 2013 to 2015. Me too. I've been meaning to buy a Moto X Pure. I want to see if I can buy a good working one and keep it as my one of my all-time favorite phones. I got to do that. I wonder how much they go for. Now I feel like I gave a secret away. Please don't buy a Moto X Pure right now. Let me buy one before you buy the good one that's left on Swappa. No, go ahead if you really wanted to. I don't think many people are going to be buying a Moto X Pure anyway. Deepak says, yes, I'm sarcastic. I figured as much. I don't know. I don't want to offend, but I was just like, man, that's a lot of money for a phone that's having issues. Team Bryce says, Google Nest Home Mini Red Nubia Magic Plus ! Yes, exactly. That's the one I want. Paul Hendrick says, you forgot Pro Mark 2. There you go. Forgot about that too. John M. Hi, Jerome. Hi, John M. How's it going, man? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you again. Always nice to have regular stop by. I feel like all that's missing is having a bar feel, right? Where it's we're all coming to the bar, we're all hanging out, we're all talking tech and having a good conversation. That's why I love doing these streams. That's why I want to spend an hour at least doing this stuff, because it's just nice to talk to everybody, kind of talk about what's going on in the tech world, and just having fun talking about it. Oh, snaps! I was gonna say shit, but now I said shit. So shit, snaps. RSILINYC. RSILINNYC with the $5 super chat and nothing to say, no words, just an empty $5 super chat. RSILINNYC. That's probably why you leave it blank, because I have to say your name like that. Thank you for the $5 super chat, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for the continued support, because you just super chatted not too long ago either. So thank you so much. Appreciate that, man. Again, to everybody, thank you guys for that support. Thank you for helping me offset the costs for the streaming software and the music that plays on there. That stuff I all pay for. I know some of you might not care, but it does mean a lot to me for you guys to support that way and to just help out so I can do this every day and give you guys an hour of, news and entertainment and whatever else. I appreciate it. So thank you so much. Thank you, man. Okay, guys, let me scroll back up here. Paul says Sony's name scheme markers or makers are on the loose. Levin says, I use my best mini with my smart bulbs and thermostat. That's the one thing that I wish I had, was a thermostat. But because I live in apartments, it's just not something that I would change. The one thing that I would, if I had my own place, if I can't see myself buying a house ever. I mean, unless I got married and had a family, that's probably the only time I'd buy a house. And even then I'd probably buy a really small house, because I'm not a big living kind of person. I lived in studio apartments almost my whole life, so I just don't see a use for it. But the one thing I would get for a smart home is not only the lights, but I would get a thermostat, and I would love one of the smart locks. I think that's such a nice thing to have. I guess I still worry about getting my thing hacked where somebody could just come in, but I wonder how secure those really are. I wonder how hackable. Do you guys know anything about smart locks and how hackable they are? Or is it just as safe as a key lock, or is it even safer than a key lock? These are burning questions that I wonder about. And I don't know if you guys have any info on it, but I feel like I would just ask since we're talking about it now. Team Varai says, always have fun with the chat and news. Well, I appreciate that, Team Varai. Parth Gupta is here. Parth Gupta, thank you for making the stream. Nice to see you. I'm still under 21. Were we talking about ages here? I mean, that's cool. Let me know when you're 21. Because I was talking about beers. I was going to say, and I'll buy you a beer. I'm sorry, Parth Gupta. I'm not trying to tell you that you need to drink a beer. You could still hang out, and I'll give you a pop. Here in Chicago, we call it pop. I think other parts of the U.S. call it soda. And then I heard down south, I used to live in Texas for a while, and people call it a Coke. Everyone calls it a Coke. And I remember asking someone, I'm like, so if I wanted an orange soda or an orange pop, Do I say, hey, I want a Coke? And then they say, what kind? And I say an orange pop, which doesn't make any sense. I always use that as an excuse because I'm like, why would someone call any kind of drink a Coke? So it's like the way it was worded to me, I know I'm going off tangent here, but is you would go to a restaurant and when you say, hey, yeah, I want a Coke, and then the waitress will or waiter will be like, what kind? And you say a Dr. Pepper. And I'm like, that makes no sense. Like that doesn't make any sense at all. But that's just how it is in some parts of the country, I guess. RSI LINNYC says, Jerome, I really liked your Android police video where you went over smart home automation. Thank you. Thanks. I'm glad you remember that. Thank you for being a supporter for so long too. I know I've seen you on my channel like way when I first started. So for you to support and for you to still be a supporter means a lot to me, man. Even especially during those years, Android police years and years before that and years after that, when I kind of skipped in and out. And that was just because I was going through my own personal stuff. But I've said this before, I'm in a good place now. This is why you guys see me come. That's why you guys see me stream so regularly, because I'm in a much better place today than I have been probably my whole life. But thank you. And for anyone else who doesn't know, yes, I used to work with Android Police. So let's see here. I always think Wrestling NYC when I read it. Oh, yeah, I could see that. Wrestling NYC, but I don't know if that's how he pronounces it. If he does, then he can tell me. My bad. I messed up the chat while at work. You're good. Thank you, though. Yeah, so Levin says a smart lock is something I really want next. I wonder what the good ones are. I wonder what the ones people buy the most are. And does it work with Google Home? Actually, that would be weird if it worked with Google Home, right? Because imagine if you were like on the other side of the door. Couldn't you just scream the keyword or, the catch, the phrase or whatever, and say, unlock my door? And then it would unlock it to anybody. I'm sure, yeah, that can't be a thing. There's no way that's a thing. Big House Production says nothing like having your own house. Love it. I hear ya. So like for me, I don't know if I'd want a house. I think I would honestly, like I could live in a studio and be fine. And I think a lot of that is just because I like city life. So I don't spend, well, now I spend a lot of time at home, but for the most part, when life was normal, I would go out and do things, and I would just go home to like work or edit video or whatever. But I hear ya. I just, I think I would like to own my own place one day. I just don't know if I need such a big space. But I totally understand. I hear you on that. So let's move on, guys. Let's talk about let's talk about T-Mobile. Remember the other day, right? The other day, people's phones were down with T-Mobile, me included, but it affected people outside of just T-Mobile, because imagine people who are on AT&T who are trying to get in touch with people that had T-Mobile service. They couldn't. Or Verizon trying to get in touch with people with T-Mobile service. They couldn't. So it affected more than just T-Mobile itself. Anyway, there's an explanation of why its network went down hard on Monday. We did not meet our own bar for excellence, writes their CTO. If you've been wondering what could knock out one of the United States' three big cellular carriers' ability and keep it that way for most of entire day, T-Mobile now has a partial answer that pertains to its extensive nationwide outage Monday. The short version, if we're reading this correctly, a fiber optic circuit failed and its backup circuit also failed. Okay, so at least what I'm reading here is they had redundancy, but the redundancy also failed, which is a shame because, again, this is what they could say, but who knows really what happened? Maybe, I don't know, maybe somebody just like tripped on a cable. No, I don't know. Which caused a chain reaction that strained the network to the point that many calls and texts couldn't make it through. Here's a longer version. I don't really want to read through this entire thing. Our engineers worked through the night to understand the root cause of yesterday's issues, address it, and prevent it from happening again. Let's hope that that's the case. It's not clear which third-party provider's fiber circuit failed. There was a report on Monday that Level 3, one of the world's major internet backbone providers, was experiencing an outage, but a spokesperson told TechCrunch differently. I mean, yeah, I mean, at least at this point, everything's working fine. It's still not an excuse. Um, a lot of us use our cell phones now as our primary. Most people don't have landline phones anymore. And I said this yesterday on my stream. My mom and my uncle, they were freaking out because they couldn't use their phones. And they're like, well, what if there's an emergency? And that's just like, that's kind of how, you know, their mind works when it comes to that stuff, because they don't use stuff like I do, where I'll use Telegram or I use Hangouts so I could still make a phone call, or there are different ways to contact people. But like my mom and like other people who are in the older demographic, they still make phone calls and they still find it important. And at the end of the day, there's still no excuse to have a down network, especially when, think about it, lives could be in danger, people calling the police, people calling an ambulance. And imagine all the people who were trying to do that and could not. That is where it becomes an issue. And that's why stuff like this, there should be no excuse. Again, my 2 cents, that's kind of how I feel about it. But yeah. So, okay. Closing it off, Google cuts the price of its Stadia starter kit to $100, but it no longer includes a 3-month Stadia Pro pass. How much was this Stadia? How much was this starter kit, even with the 3-month pass? Was it a lot more, or was it about $100? Was it 150? Oh, maybe they'll say here. Well, it was 130, so it's not that big of a cut. Who's using a Stadia here? Any of you guys? I don't know who uses one. So they're cutting it from 129 to $100. The set includes a controller and a Chromecast Ultra, so you can play games via streaming service on your TV. They offered a $30 discount on the Premiere for the first time in March, though this looks to be a permanent cut. There is a significant trade-off. It doesn't have 3 months of Stadia Pro. You can still sign up for a 1-month trial, but after that, you need to subscribe to maintain your access to games in the Pro library and to play in up to 4K HDR with 5.1 surround sound. Otherwise, you'll need to buy games individually. Pro subscribers can claim 18 games as part of their sub right now, including Destiny 2, Super Hot, Panzer Dragon Remake, and starting today, The Elder Scrolls Online. I don't know how, I've never used it, so I don't know how good Stadia is. I just know that it hasn't had the best reviews, and I don't think I've seen a ton of info on it that says otherwise. I don't even know what, so I know they're listing some games here, but are there good fun games that you can play even by yourself? Because the one article that I read with the guys on Friday Night Tech Talk, they were talking about how they were playing Fortnite, not the guys, but the article we read, somebody was playing Fortnite on it and nobody was even in the servers because nobody is using Stadia. So if no one's even using Stadia, then there has to at least be some good first player games, right? 1-player games, but I don't even know if that's the case. I've never used one. I don't know how good it is. Maybe it's just good for like casual gaming to pass the time, but I don't know. I have my PC, right? And I use that to play games here and there when I want to. I just don't see the point of a Stadia, but I don't know. I would love to see Google have something successful, but I don't know if this is it. I really don't know if this is it. Big House says, I experienced the T-Mobile outage too yesterday, but no worries because my main line is AT&T. Well, it's good that you have 2 different carriers for lines. All mine are T-Mobile. So both of my phones were shot. And even though some stuff worked, like text messages came hours later. I had one text message that came 12 plus hours later, and it was for a job interview. And I was like, why is this person texting me at 9:43 p.m.? But I was like, oh, that's right, because T-Mobile had an issue. And then I see Krishna Teha. Krishna Teha. Did I say that right? Krishna, welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. Appreciate you stopping by. The ROG 3, is it going to have an LCD panel or an AMOLED panel? I think it's AMOLED, right? Is that what it said here? I know it said it. Or was that on the Red Magic? Yeah, so it's an AMOLED. It's an FHD plus AMOLED display. So in case you were wondering, well, you are wondering. That's why you asked. That's what it is. Anyway, Krishna, appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for coming into the chat. Anyway, yeah, Stadia, that's, I'm not too excited about it. It isn't like any big story. Again, it's kind of a slow news day today. I don't really have much else unless you guys want to talk about something, but otherwise I might be wrapping it up here. I know it's not the most exciting hour. I'm sorry. I wish I had more exciting news to talk about. You know what? I will update you guys though. Life has been pretty crazy for me. I have a bunch of like freelancing jobs at the moment, and it is taking a good portion of my time while trying to do daily streams and while I have my other channel, because I do have another channel that I do higher production videos on. So between that and my freelancing jobs, it's taking up a lot of my time. But the reason I talk about that is because I have the Galaxy A71 and the TCL 10 Pro that I've been meaning to do photo comparisons with, and I haven't had the time, and it's something I want to do, and hopefully I can get that out. I gotta figure my times out, and I gotta like get all of that set before things get crazier. So I don't know. Anyway, just filling you in. Like those are coming. I just need to space time out properly. Team Verizon says, as someone who owns a Switch, DS, and Steam, I did try out Stadia. Oh, well, at least you gave it a shot. And while it's a nice addition to my roster of gaming services, I'm still waiting to see how Google improves it in the future. Yeah, I also feel like at that point, it probably isn't worth paying for the pro version, right? For that subscription, especially if nobody's on it. So like, while it might be good to just have like, again, in your roster or in your rotation of gaming, maybe it isn't the best option to pay for at the moment, especially if nobody's on it or if there are just not enough games to play on it. Team Verizon says it does work good with internet, but I won't be throwing away my consoles for it. Fair enough. Krishna Teja says, I have read its AMOLED and XDA forums, but Jaime, right? It's Jaime, right? From Pocket Now said ROG 3 is going to downgrade to an LCD 120 hertz panel. Well, yeah, that's new news to me. I'm not really sure. I don't know. If I get more like concrete info on that, I'll let you know. I mean, 9to5 Google is pretty reliable when it comes to their information as well. But if there are two conflicting, sides here, then yeah, I would just cross your fingers and hope for the best. So yeah, again, this one says it's an AMOLED, so I don't know if it's going to be an LCD or not, but yeah, if you find anything out, let me know too. Keep me posted. Even if you end up coming on my stream on a different day, we'll talk about it. So let's see. Yeah, Brian says otherwise though. He says the latency is just not good on it. And I wouldn't know. I have no idea. Team Verizon also says wouldn't pay for a pro subscription. Maybe I'll buy a couple of games. Let me know what your experience is with it. I haven't bought a gaming thing in a while. I had a Switch and I missed my Switch. I don't know if I would buy one again just because I don't know if I have the time to play one. But I don't know. Maybe if Stadia is good one day, but we'll see. Levin Williams is saying, what's the other channel? Levin, it's my fasting channel. So I know like they're two completely different worlds. People who watch my fasting channel have actually come into this tech channel just to see me stream and then started asking me fasting questions. And I'm like, this is not the place for it. But if you were curious or you were wondering, you can go to youtube.com/finally fasting. I talk about like me and my weight loss and all that kind of stuff. So it's completely out of, what I do here. Big House says, question, when is the OnePlus Z supposed to be released? July 2020, or at least announced July 2020. So if the rumors are correct, the OnePlus Z will be coming out before the Pixel 4a. And I don't know what I don't know what Google's doing. I really don't know if they're making good moves here, but then the OnePlus Z will be out, then the iPhone SE will be out, and who knows what will be out as well. And I don't know what kind of relevance the Pixel 4a will have, but maybe it'll still be relevant because maybe it'll still have the killer camera and it'll still be cheaper than anything else. And you'll still get a really good experience camera wise. So, anyway, guys, to kind of like wrap things up here, just real quick for anyone who's in the stream, I will say this one more time. If you guys haven't, please like the stream. Liking the stream helps me in an algorithmic kind of way, aka I think it helps people find the stream. And if you are lurking, I mean, that's cool if you want to lurk, but if you want come say hi. It's always nice to see new people come in here. And it's always nice to chat with the community. As you can see, I try to talk to everybody and have a good conversation. Big House says, okay, I'm sold. Z to the rescue. There you go. But yeah, if you guys haven't, come say hi. With that being said, I do stream weekdays, Mondays through Fridays, every day on the weekdays at 2 p.m. Central. So if you are not a subscriber, consider being one. All you got to do is click that subscribe button. Doesn't cost anything. But now that we're talking about costs, if you see anybody in the stream with green in their name, or you see a red Chicago star, that is because they are part of the Phone Jerome fam, and you can be one too. For as little as 99 cents a month, all you got to do is click that join button. You get the green in your name, you get the red Chicago badge next to your name as well, and you'll get to use custom emoji. There are different tiers that have like, other kind of perks, but again, it's 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click the join button. If you can't find that join button, you can go to youtube.com/phone Jerome/join. At the end of the day, it's just a way to support me, and any kind of support is appreciated, even if it's not like through this. Just you guys liking and subscribing means a lot to me. So thank you. Is there another comment? There is another comment. Let's see here. 2 comments. Deepak says, one thing is for sure, Pixel 4a will be way superior than the OnePlus Z on camera quality. I agree. Even if the OnePlus Z ends up having 3 cameras, I would still take the quality camera over 3 mediocre cameras. That's how I feel about it. The only thing that is going to be tough is the fact that the OnePlus Z is going to have a better chipset than the Pixel 4a. By how much, I don't know, but I guess I say this a lot. We'll just have to wait and see. But you make a good point, Deepak. That really, it's very true. So I love tech a lot. Hey, welcome to the stream, man. Appreciate you stopping by. I like the Stream Pro. I need a beer and hot chick. Yeah. I think a lot of people can agree with you there. I don't know if you meant Stream Pro. Yeah. Anyway, I love tech a lot. I feel like in a weird situation, like, how do I respond to that? Like, yeah, people need that. I love tech a lot. Welcome to the stream, man. Nice to see you. Team Mirai, Jerome, I actually did a quick demo of Stadia. Oh, I will check that out for sure. Thank you for sharing that. And yeah, for anyone else who's curious about the Stadia, feel free to check Team Virai's content out. He is a YouTuber, and he does other videos just like me. So feel free to check him out. I will check that out though. Check out how Stadia is and how it performs and how you like it. So okay, guys, I think that might be it for today. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. This is what I meant to do. With that being said, guys, again, I do stream weekdays, Mondays through Fridays at 2 p.m. Central. You can find me here at the same time, 2 p.m. Central. Sorry, I'm trying to like put up the outro here so I can get it all set up. But with that being said, the good thing to do, guys, would be to come back tomorrow so we can do this again. And hopefully we'll have more news. Hopefully we'll have some better news. It wasn't the best news day. And just because I'm having the sinus stuff, I'm just feeling a little off. But I do want to thank everybody for coming by. I want to thank everybody who liked the video, who became a subscriber, or who is a subscriber. I want to thank my patrons. I want to thank my YouTube members and everybody who super chatted today. Guys, thank you so much for that extra support. It always means a lot to me. Come back tomorrow. Let's do this again, 2 p.m. We'll have I don't know. We'll do what we've been doing. I keep thinking I have better ways to close this off, and I never do. I don't do the catchphrase stuff because it's just, it's not my thing. I love tech a lot. So sorry, bro. I put a thumbs up on the live stream. Thank you. Thank you. Do you think the Poco F2 Pro is worth $500? Thinking about buying it. If you can get it for $500, I don't think it's a bad deal. I think it's also going to have mod support. So if you don't like the UI on it, I think you'll be able to get it modded or mod it, ROM it yourself. So I don't know how good the camera quality is, but I think at least specs wise on paper, I think the specs that come with it, I think it's a good price for the money. I can't tell you about the build quality. I can't tell you about the camera, and I really can't share much about my experience because I haven't been able to use one, but if you're able to get it for $500, I feel like that's kind of a really good deal. That would be hard to pass up with the specs that's on it because it has a Snap 865, right? But yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think. Don't buy it just because I said, yeah, but like, do your research. And if you do, though, let me know. I mean, maybe I should look into it too. But I tried seeing if I was able to get it here in the States, and I can't get it here in the States. They won't ship it here, or at least from what I checked on GearBest, I think. Anyway, that's my 2 cents. So Deepak Murthy says both the Z and Pixel will have smooth software. Stock Android is more bare bones. Very true too. Oxygen OS is full of features. Very good point. And that's something to consider as well. I mean, even though it has a smaller chipset or a less performing one on the 4A, you're still going to have stock Android, and that kind of bare bones thing really helps the interface, I think, as a whole. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. Come back tomorrow. We'll do it all over again. That's usually what I say. That's kind of a catchphrase, right? We'll do it all over again. I don't know. Anyway, guys, I will see you tomorrow. I am waving bye as I hit the play button, and I will switch this off. Come back tomorrow, 2 p.m. See you then. Bye.